Hey, it's Jackie here, and in this video we're actually talking about distance treatments and how they work. Now, I have been super fascinated by human and animal psychology, the exploration of consciousness, quantum physics principles, and practically any other therapy, modality, and philosophy on the planet since I was a wee kid. My fascination and absolute hunger for the learning journey, well, it just grew as I settled more into myself and got older. I base much of the facilitation that I do for people, animals, businesses, and family matrices on the huge integrative whole healthcare system called Body Talk. Why? Because it works. It's as simple as that. But I do get asked from time to time, and people will literally say, and you can do all this via distance, and I don't even have to be there with you. That's so interesting. But sometimes people ask how it can happen. And that's what today is all about, I guess. The hopefully easy to digest explanation of how any kind of healing facilitation can occur at distance. I'm trying to remember, it was 2005 or 2006, I sat in my very first Body Talk course. And I think it was about day 3 of that course when my instructor, Carol, proclaimed to everybody. And of course, you can do sessions for people no matter where they live in the world. Now, this was a absolutely huge light bulb moment for me. It's like my entire reality stopped for a few moments, and I was literally swimming in this no time, no space place of course I can. I instantly had this knowing within me that this was true to me. And in that moment, I knew that I was going to be facilitating lots of sessions for others in this way. Now, in 2021, which is when I do this video, I estimate that I've done close to probably 14,000 sessions just via distance alone. And if I knew I'd be doing this 16 plus years later, I would have started counting, because it's kind of cool knowing how many people I've sat with and supported over the years. So, what's via distance mean, and how do we do them? It's when I am here in my office space, or actually wherever I am in the world at that time. I could be away teaching or presenting, and you are where you happen to be in the world. It can be within the same city as me that you are, or we could be the furthest distance from each other on the planet. It's exactly the same result and outcome no matter where you are in relation to me at that time of the session. And in fact, I've got clients that have had sessions in person and via distance, and some say that they like their sessions via distance more. I usually do all sessions in my Zoom conference room because it's private and secure. Now, there are many other forms of connection I know, such as Facebook Messenger, but it's not safe and it is not secure, and I do not use it for that reason. Most of the time, you, the client, are with me live in the Zoom room, but sometimes it might not be possible. Maybe because of the time difference, maybe because someone's working, or maybe because they're in hospital, and I've done lots of sessions for people in hospital or in comas. In cases where you can't come be with me live, I record the session as a video, and then it gets emailed to you very, very soon after the session. The benefits to you of distance sessions, I recommend distance sessions to clients even if they live in the same city as me. Why? Because they can do it from the comfort of their own home or office. They are not having to rush, jump in the car, navigate traffic, and all the other stresses that come with jumping from appointment to appointment, which is what I see so often. Normally, the client is in their own home, and after their session, they can rest a little, which is ideal after a session. Some of my overseas clients, they will deliberately select appointment times during the night so that they awaken in the morning with the changes of the treatment already taking effect, and they do notice that. For some clients, it can be a massive stressor having to come into the clinic and be with somebody, especially if they have touch sensitivities. So skipping all of that means that your nervous system will likely be in parasympathetic mode, which is rest, relax, heal mode, and not in some state of fight, flight, or freeze by coming in to see me. It's not my intention in sessions to trigger you, but rather to calm, nurture, and heal the body. So stress triggers, they're adverse to what we're trying to achieve in the first place. I know some of you really love the one-on-one touch and connection of an in-person session, and don't get me wrong, because I absolutely do too. But I would hate for you to miss out on what you need simply because you're stuck on not wanting sessions via distance. I get majority of my sessions are all via distance from colleagues. Distance sessions have absolutely saved lives. And if you are stuck, not well, in distress, and can't get into the clinic, then a distance session is going to be right for you. Now, I want to talk about the science of distance treatments a little bit, because that's what we're here for today. Distance sessions are sometimes also called distance treatments or remote sessions, and our understanding of how they work actually comes from principles of quantum physics. Now, in conducting some pretty rigorous experiments to explore the realities of the subatomic world, quantum physicists had discovered that when two particles that were once connected are separated, anything that is done to one will have the same and equal effect on the other at precisely the same time. So it doesn't matter how much space separates these particles, whether it be a few feet or even a few light years. The changes are seen instantaneously in both of them. Also, there is no transference of information between the two particles because that would take time. It seems that the two particles actually behave as one. That is, effects seen here are also experienced there. This phenomena actually is called non-locality. Now, I have a little bit of a story for you. This non-local quality has been noted not only between particles, but between people as well. It can happen spontaneously between family members or between people who are very, very close. And as an example, I had an employee, a lady, who was a twin when I was managing a retail store years ago. And one shift, she started experiencing really severe abdominal pains, which grew in severity. And I asked her if she was okay. And she told me that she had to call her sister because her sister was pregnant and she suspected that she was in labour. Because she said what she felt like she was having was labour pains. So sure enough, she rang and her twin was in labour. She left her shift and she didn't stop having labour pains until they were united in the birthing suite. Cool story, huh? So it seems that we're also tapping into this non-local nature of the universe when we do distance sessions. When I take your name, address, date of birth, and other particular details that are unique to you only, it serves then to very easily connect me to you no matter where you are. Now, I do want to talk about another concept, the observer effect. There is this concept that quantum physicists have explored, that is, no thing exists until there is an observer to see it. This observing of things into reality also helps to show how our sessions work, because I, as your practitioner, use this power of observer to see the shifts and repairs taking place within you. So even by using my mind's eye to see the changes happening within you, it means that I'm being the observer for the shifts to translate into this reality for you, okay? Let's also talk about the holographic morphinogenic field, because that's cool. Now, I've always been a really intuitive and extrasensory person. I certainly use all aspects of my senses, but my sense of sight and touch are by far my strongest assets, let's say, that factor into everything that I do, not just the sessions I facilitate. So that means I can feel things, know things, and see things for you and within you very, very easily in a session. So when I'm using the imagination and structured intuition to visualize what is coming up as a priority within you, what's changing within you, a holographic record is made and it's picked up by you, the client. Holograms, they contain all the information of the whole, so all the information that makes you you. As long as I have access to your essential details like name, address, and date of birth, then I have access to the entire morphinogenic field of information around yourself. How cool is that? The study of morphinogenic fields is super interesting because it's where individuals study scientifically to be able to document and describe how human consciousness is shared. Now, another way to understand the holographic nature of the universe um, with it and that it exists is through the concept that the mind is omnipresent, meaning the mind is present in location in all places at all times, so anywhere and everywhere. I know it's traditionally taught that the mind is located in your head brain and that they're one and the same, right? That your mind is your brain is your mind, but that's not true. It's not its sole location. It is actually found everywhere. It's there, plus it's also everywhere. So the mind is everywhere and all at once. Essentially, wherever your mind focuses on is where it is. And I have a cool story for you. The Russian and US military forces, actually many forces have done this, not just those groups of people, they understood this principle when they trained people to conduct something that's called remote viewing. You might have heard of that. And they would remote view each other's secret bases during the Cold War. Government officials provided them with the coordinates of the military sites, and then the remote viewers would use their mind's eye to describe the buildings and their contents, as well as the people that were stationed there. They could even go look at paperwork that were on tables and read out or write out what was written on the paperwork. It's been used extensively and still continues to be used on this day. Right? Secret squirrel business. So this is not dissimilar to what I do when I see my client at a distance in my mind's eye and in my Mindscape workshop where I'm able to pick up information about you. It is often a weekly email that I get from people when they say things like, I don't understand how you can know so much and be so clear about those things. That was incredible. That's so common. I get that almost on a weekly basis. Now, I've been honing my intuition since childhood and my remote viewing skills for close to 20 years now. So yes, they are pretty good, but you could also learn if you wanted to as well. There's nothing super special about it. Our ability to effortlessly connect and run repair and healing processes using the phenomena of non-locality and knowing that we are always tapped into each other via the holographic morphinogenic fields each of us has allows us to easily see information related to you and facilitate treatments for you with ease. So I hope that this gave you some clarity and insight into how distance treatments work, or sessions as I sometimes refer to them mostly. I did my best to keep it as easy to grasp as I possibly could. And before we leave each other, I'd love to encourage more of you who perhaps have never had a session at distance is to do so. It's such a cool process to be part of, and pretty incredible really, that we get to tap into our innate wisdom's ability to repair, heal, release on all levels. You know, that is pretty darn cool when you think about it. And remember, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my emails where I can share stories directly from my treatment table to you. Many of these stories are things that often are currently affecting you or have in the past, and will likely be of a huge support to you, or it might be of benefit to somebody that you know and love, and you can share it with them as well. And jump onto the subscribe button on my YouTube channel, hit that little bell so that you get notified when I drop another video, and who knows, it might just be right up your alley. Well, I'm off to absorb as much joy out of my day as I possibly can. I'll be seeing you very, very soon. Bye for now.